Welcome back. This is episode 96 of the Veterinary Business Video Show. This episode made possible with the support of VBay Veterinary Business Advertising. In today's show we'll find out that wowing customers doesn't necessarily build loyalty, and we'll learn how to use podcasts to engage with your clients. We'll ask what professionalism in veterinary medicine means to you. We'll hear some advice about the appearance of your practice inside and out, and I'll offer you my quick business tip for this episode. I'm John Sheridan, and this is the show that helps practice owners, managers and clinicians just like you to build your successful practice into a great business. The idea that businesses should delight their customers rather than simply satisfying them has become entrenched as conventional wisdom in recent years, and I was interested to come across a report which suggests that wowing customers doesn't necessarily build loyalty. As consumers, we're all getting tougher and wiser. We're no longer prepared to accept poor service and are much more comfortable about switching providers and suppliers when the service we're offered simply doesn't meet our expectations. The study did discover, however, that what really builds customer loyalty was consistency of service and an expectation that their chosen supplier would deliver their standard basic services regularly, effectively and efficiently every single time. Nonetheless, it's the little things which can separate a dreary, satisfactory standard of service from something special. Here's a clip in which Mark Opperman explains what one particular practice did to achieve its own special reputation for service.
I was recently consulting in a practice in Indianapolis, Indiana, and they had an individual that was positioned by the front door, and whenever somebody was coming in, that person opened the door. Upon exiting the practice, again, they would open the door, help them out to the car with their pet or food, and if it was raining, which it happened to be one of the days that I was there, they would also go out with an umbrella, and they would help people in. And you know what? That practice was known in the community for, oh, that's the practice that helps you, in and out and opens the door for you when you go in there. Little things make just an amazing impression upon a client. When a client walks into your practice, stand up, greet that client. Question for you. What is the sweetest words to your client's ears? Is it the client's name or the pet's name? And it's the pet's name. So again, knowing the pet when they come in, hopefully getting the picture of the pet in the computer so that when they walk in, you can look in the computer and you can say, oh, is that Fluffy? And they would say, absolutely. And, hi, Mrs. Smith, it's great to see you again. But personalization of communication. In that exam room, technicians, the same thing. Look at your body language. Are we greeting that client when we go into that exam room? Are we shaking their hand? Are you introducing yourself as the doctor's technician or the exam room assistant? And definitely interacting with that pet as well. But look at what you can do to take that up to another level and really make this an amazing experience for the clients. As I always say, you want to love your clients so much, you want to care for them and their pets so well that that client doesn't want to leave your practice for fear of a harsher world outside your doors. So see if you can do that within your own practice.
Now I'd like to take the opportunity of thanking VBay Veterinary Business Advertising for sponsoring this episode of the video show.
It's not often that a completely novel service is launched in the veterinary sector, especially one that fills a great big gap in the market. Well, it's happened now. vbay.co.uk is an online marketplace exclusively for veterinary business advertising, and it's the place to buy or sell anything veterinary related. So if you're a supplier or you work in a veterinary practice, please register today for free at vbay.co.uk and be part of the future.
Now for the how-to clip for this episode. I'm certainly no expert on practice websites, but I do know that the practices which are really thriving, even in the most economically depressed areas, are those which concentrate on winning clients for their practice and then strengthening their relationship with them. Michael Kavanagh, Chief Executive of the AAHA, in his State of the Industry address this year, reported that practices which engage their clients are more than twice as likely to be growers. That is, practices growing their top line by more than the current average 5.6%. than those practices which he describes as decliners. Here's a clip in which Brad Pfeiffer suggests that one very effective way of engaging with your clients and with other animal owners in your part of the world is to provide them with educational audio or video podcasts on your website.
It's on Blog Talk Radio, and anyone can set up a Blog Talk Radio account. It's free unless you shoot for a premium service, and what it does is it just enables your practice to create, whether it's a weekly podcast or a monthly podcast, whatever you want to do, and it's a great information for your patients, for your clients. So what we do is each week we have a scheduled podcast, and I invite some sort of industry expert on the show with me, and they call in. So it's all done over the phone. You can sit at your desk with your PC or your Mac. They call into a number. You have a phone conversation that is then recorded, basically, and you would shoot it out to your clients. And a lot of it is, I mean, you can make it as long as you want, up to an hour, I guess, or as short as you want, and on whatever topic you would like to talk about. So each week we do things. We've had stuff about barking dogs, digging in the backyard. We had a veterinarian on talking about obesity in pets, and we've done stuff with the woman who started Healthy Mouth and how we can, prevent dental problems in our dogs. And we do specials on it's Adopted Dog Month, so specials with local shelters and just whatever topic you want to choose or whatever topic you want to talk about, and you start talking about it and have it as a resource. You can set it up and advertise it early, and you can have people call in, you can have intro music. It really is designed to be a radio show, and anyone can have their voice be heard, their soapbox, however you want to look at it. And it's a really great resource, I think, for us in terms of giving our clients information they need. It's a resource, so we can put it on our Facebook account, we can tweet it, we can put it up on our website, and if you go to our website, barktutor.com, you can actually view archive shows, and there's a constant feed of Bark at Brad, as we call it, and it's just a really great educational piece.
Now let's see who's on the video show Soapbox for this episode. I haven't practiced as a clinician for a long time, but I'm still immensely proud of being a member of the veterinary profession. Of course, the owners of veterinary practices, in common with the owners of any other small business, have a responsibility for business survival, and that means generating an income greater than its costs. I'm conscious, however, that one of the most significant differences between a veterinary business and many other service industries is that we're a profession. What does professionalism in veterinary medicine mean to you? Here's a clip in which leaders of the AAHA share some of their views.
Professionalism in veterinary medicine, it's not about the person, it's not about the degree, it's not about the position. It's really about, to me, who you are when nobody's looking.
In the veterinary industry today, I think we're getting a lot of flack for supposedly being overpriced and our clients not feeling a value for what we do, and I think that makes it even more important right now for us to show who we are. We are professionals, we are doctors, we are extremely well trained, we provide a lot as far as medical management of cases and taking care of our clients, and I think we need to be recognized for that.
Professionalism in veterinary medicine is one of the most crucial facets of becoming and being a good doctor. It means that you don't leave at the end of the night if your charts aren't written in, that if you don't know something, you actually have to go look it up or go talk to somebody about it. It means talking to your clients when maybe you have a headache and you'd really rather be somewhere else. It's all those things put together that make you a really good and a wonderful medical doctor.
Professionalism in veterinary medicine, I think, begins with self-awareness, understanding how your behavior impacts others. It includes civility and respect towards your colleagues, your clients, your employees. It involves clear, concise communication and being willing to meet people where they are. In other words, if you're talking to a colleague, use all the jargon you want. If you're talking to a client that doesn't understand veterinary medicine, make sure before they leave they understand what you're telling them.
When you are being professional, you are consciously aware that everything you present, everything you say, the way you look, the way you speak, the way you're perceived affects your entire profession and reflects upon yourself as well. And so that's what professionalism is. It's having the courage to be able to see what you could do better. It's having the strength to follow through and take action and actually do things to make yourself, your practice, and your profession even better than it is today.
What's your view on this or any of the other topics we've covered in the video show? I'd very much appreciate your feedback. Now for my quick business tip for this episode. Janice Wheeler is the joint owner of a business consultancy service for healthcare professionals and is based in Toronto. Following the theme of what makes your practice special, here's a clip in which Janice Wheeler offers some advice about the appearance of your practice from the inside and the outside.
Today I wanted to talk to you about a marketing aspect of your practice, your appearance of your practice, from the outside in. How it looks on the outside is going to attract people in. Once they walk in, you don't want them being pushed back out by having a poor appearance. There's different aspects that we consider in looking at a practice. From the outside, you want to have signage that says who you are. It should be uniquely you, like your fingerprint or your signature. It should say something about you. Now your sign, you don't want it to be generic. You don't want it to say, dental center, chiropractic practice, veterinarian clinic, things like that. Because those are like no-name places and very generic. And personally, I can tell you that when I go looking for a new healthcare professional, I'm not looking for a generic practice. I'm looking for somebody unique, somebody who suits me, and I can tell from the front of a practice if they're going to suit me or not. The front window should be uncluttered, but have something attractive about it. The sign needs to be clean, well lit, and visible. When you walk into the front of your office, the decor is very important. It doesn't mean you have to totally renovate and spend $1 million on making a practice look very attractive on the inside. Another aspect of your practice is your staff, and they're very important at the front desk. They make that department of first impressions. It's not how beautiful they are, though that always helps. But it isn't about that. It's how well groomed they are, how well mannered they are. Is their makeup good? Do they greet people warmly? Do they make them feel comfortable and glad that they walked into your practice? Those are the key things that you could watch out for in your practice to make a difference in the number of new patients walking in and staying with your practice and referring others to you.
So what's my quick business tip? Well, it's this. I was especially intrigued by Janice's comments about the pros and cons of a generic theme, her views about the appearance of the reception and staff members, and particularly her comments about looking for a healthcare professional who might meet her particular needs as an individual. I think that's really important, and I suspect that most pet animal owners looking for a veterinary practice don't regard themselves or their pets as average. They're special people with a pet that's special, and they're looking for a special sort of practice, possibly yours. Well, that's about it for now. I'm John Sheridan, and this is the Veterinary Business Video Show. See you next time.